have no idea what these words are. I mean, I probably know them. Narration. My angel, you're my darling baby. What you need, baby. Angel, you're my darling baby. I'm in need. Okay. Hi everyone, it's Lulu and it's time for Sunday Night Chit Chat, and right on time, Lucy has entered the room. Right, Lucy? Because we just can't do a thing without you. You got to be like right on top of things. Hey, sweetie pie. If you're new to me, Lucy is my English bulldog. She's almost 2. I get their dates mixed up, but I think she's almost 2. And Banks is a little bit older, but she's Lucy. She's my redhead. She's all red. So how are you doing? How was this week? What a week. I kind of try to take notes so I know what the heck I'm going to be talking about. First of all, spring is in the air. My sisters and mom were over today. We had Popeye's fried chicken. Can we just bow our heads? And my sister Nina said she saw 2 robins on her lawn. So even though I love winter and I love cold, this one has been really cold. And it's time. You know, we're getting to the back end of March here, and it's time for spring. And I felt like today, for the first time, like I smelled it in the air. We had a really tiny drizzle, and it was kind of warm, and I feel like, I don't know, I just kind of thought, I think I smelled it in the air. Our other house, we had a magnolia that we had planted right after we moved in there. And it was like, I'm just so curious to see if it's budding, but I cannot go to that house. So anyway, spring is officially here, right? March 20th, March 21st. So that's pretty cool. So happy spring. Yeah, that's right. We need a little more fanfare for that. So what happened this week? Well, let me start with Amazon Prime Video. Foils Wars. I happened upon it. It was in my recommended list. It takes place in England right at World War II, when the Germans are beginning to bomb. So the US is not in it yet, Russia's not in it yet, but Hitler and his Nazis are like just running down all of Europe. And they are now starting to drop bombs. So there's the blackouts, and it's like 1940. And although it's not about the war, Foyle is the name of the chief inspector, superintendent, you know how they have those names. And he's not in London. I believe he's south of London, and London is really getting the brunt of it. And it's a detective series, you know, solving murders throughout the countryside, but he's such a quiet man, and he is always looking for the backstory, and it's always the backstory, like, that helps him solve the crime, and the crimes always turn out to be much bigger than they are, and sometimes they are very much relevant to the war, to the supplies, to the ammunition, to backdoor agreements with the Germans. And I will tell you that probably even more so than, I don't know, maybe, you know, something on the History Channel, this gave me such a significant understanding of what living your everyday life, going to the store, going to work, taking your kids to school during a war where bombs are dropping. There's very many snippets of that, and you feel it not from the government, not hearing about Churchill, but you feel it as a person. And I didn't know. I mean, I knew about the blackouts and your shades down, and I knew England wasn't doing too well. You know, I remember from history, it's been a long time. But if you like detective series, it's an excellent detective series. If you like period dramas, particularly around World War II, excellent series. And I did not expect to learn this much about World War II, particularly from a very personal sedition and what the air shelters were like, and being at work and all of a sudden the alarms go off, and it is simply amazing. It is, rationing. You hear about rationing, but it's really an excellent series. I probably talked too long already about it. Anyway, always, I think I'm going to have to routinely say wear your SPF 30 or better, and honestly, there's really very little difference between SPF 30 and SPF 60. It doesn't double the protection. I should have looked up these numbers, but SPF 30 might block 96% of the UVA and UVB rays. Well, if it's UVA, UVB, broad spectrum. SPF 60 blocks 98%. And a lot of people think the number means double the protection. It doesn't. Is 98 better than 96? Absolutely. Is any sun protection better than none? Probably. I don't know, not a doctor. But the other thing is a quarter teaspoon should cover your face and your neck, particularly if you have a face as large as mine. Quarter teaspoon. Everybody talks about wearing SPF, but we have to wear enough SPF. Today I am wearing Paula's Choice Wrinkle Resist Light Defense Moisturizer SPF 30. I don't know, the resist line, and it's light, super light, because I have oily skin. That's what I'm wearing today, and I think it might be my favorite. So we'll talk about that. The trunk club arrived. I don't think I did a sneak peek on my video, on my rant video, but my first trunk club arrived. I tell you, it's the best. I only kept 2 things out of, I don't know how many she sent, 10 or a dozen. I kept 2. One I'm having exchanged for a smaller size, so maybe I've kept 3. But if this is something you want to do, something you can do, something you can be very clear about your budget. What a convenience! And what fun! And you're trying these things on, and is everything perfect? No. What in life is? And if you are one of those people, you're one of those that pays $10 a month for Ipsy and Birchbox, and then you complain that you don't like most of the stuff. This is not for you by any means. Neither is Ipsy or Birchbox. The point is to experiment, to see if the scent bothers you, the texture. It's not to, maybe that's a rant video. Anyway, okay. That is. So anyway, SPF. I have been, oh boy, for months and months and months. I have one of the walls in my dining room is and I have a formal dining room, is very long, very long. And I can't quite, even from the decor from my other house, which also had a very formal dining room, nothing is quite fitting that wall. I don't mean fitting size-wise, just nothing is like right to me because it's too long. And I have been looking for a painting, print, whatever you want to call it, of a lion. My husband was a Leo the lion. And the lion would need, it would need to speak to me. You can't eat thousands of canvases, prints, posters, again, that whole world of art. There's a lot of them, but it had to speak to me. Lucy, no. It had to speak to me, and it had to fit the room. Lucy, what's wrong? Come in here. Oh, and here comes Banks. Well, it's a party. What's wrong? We ate, we went out. What's wrong? Hi, Bankies. Sorry. And then, of course, you do have to look at it artistically to fit into the room. What about the frame? What about the matting? What about the colors? But more than anything, it had to speak to me. Do you want just the face? Do you want growling? Do you want him sleeping? Do you want the full body? And I didn't have any perceptions necessarily about that, except I knew that I pretty much didn't want it to be like a photograph of a lion. And there's a lot of those, you know, but in ginormous sizes. You can get them done and framed and all of that. And I believe I have finally found the combination. Am I going to have to shut this off and take care? I have no idea what you want. Come here, come here, come here. I'll be right back. I'm not sure what she's wanting. I kind of think I know what she's wanting, but every week I go to the butcher and I get femur bones, soup bones, and it's about this time every night I give each one of them a raw bone, and they, you know, they're good for a couple of hours with them. And the butcher cuts them up for me, and I forgot to get them yesterday, so I have no bones, and I think maybe that's what she's thinking. Anyway, so I found, you know, I just found it. The perfect frame, the perfect matting. I went back and forth on how wide I wanted the matting. And it's a good enough size. I think I would have liked larger, but then again, the more I thought about it, larger would have, certainly that wall could accommodate a larger painting, picture, whatever. But I think it would have been too much, just too much for the room. So I haven't quite hit the, I'm going to do it, but I can't even tell you thousands and thousands and thousands of lion photo prints, canvas prints, oil prints, drawings, crazy psychedelic colors at night, in the morning, behind the sun. And this one, when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. Like, this is it. And I was like, please come in different sizes, and please come on canvas. And I'm extraordinarily excited about that. So that was good. Work was good. Any interesting, exciting meals this week? No, not really. Except Popeye's today was fabulous. I'm wearing my self-glue Eyelure lashes. These are in natural. I'm not happy with, like I'm an expert all of a sudden after a week of wearing lashes. For some reason, I had a problem putting these on. I don't know if there wasn't enough lash for me to grip onto. Didn't like these. I couldn't get them on straight, but again, because they're self-glued, it's nice because when it's that regular glue, by the time you're done, like usually you're glued up to here, and they're almost not enough. You know, if it weren't for the black glue line, you'd hardly know I had lashes on. So I'm not thrilled with the naturals. Somebody else may be. I got it all. I think they come in 5 styles, and I have all 5 styles. So that's just from today. And other than that, I think we are good to go. I have a note to myself, something about wine tasting, but I have absolutely no idea what the rest of it says. Maybe by next week I'll figure out. Thanks again for visiting. Come back Tuesday for my Lou on Tuesday rant. And then maybe next Sunday, maybe a separate video. I'm going to do a sweep of my makeup collection. I'm not going to hold up every lipstick and swatch it because I'm not. But I will sweep how I store everything. You know, you'll get a pretty good idea of my life, my makeup life. And that should be next Sunday. It might even be a separate video. Not because it would take so long, but maybe it's worthy of a separate video. So thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Have a great week. I will talk to you again on Tuesday. If you have any questions, leave them below. I was supposed to do this at the beginning. Subscribe, like, and share. If you listen to my rant on Tuesday, you know how important that is. And if you comment, that is great. Good night. Bye-bye.